What's up, guys? All right, we're in the shop. Me, Steph, and Jacob just did a morning workout, and it was so cold. But Steph is over. He's making some bed rack mounts for the bed of his truck. He's over there. And then I am gonna do some work. We don't have a tank for the welder, so I'm not gonna be doing welding right now. We might set up the welding cart and then put the welder on there because it's just sitting on the shelf right there. But I'm actually gonna clean out the interior of the Mustang, and I'm gonna bring my bucket seat down and start marking and getting ready for where I need to place the seat because, oh, can't go that way. So because my hub for the aftermarket wheel is so big, it causes my hands like to be very close to the wheel, but I still have it's pretty far away from my feet. With the other seat I had, it was adjustable back, so I could lean it back and still be forward enough to, touch the pedals and be comfortable. But what I'm worried about right now is because I have a fixed back halo now, I might be too close to the wheel while being comfortable with, where my seating position is for my feet. So if that's the case, then I'm gonna have to order a shorter hub, but I need to make sure that the seat is in there properly before, well, not bolted down, but in a position where I'm comfortable, so that way we can figure all that out. So I'm gonna get to just moving everything, probably vacuum it up, just clean it up a little bit, and then bring my seat down and place her in there. So this is my seat. It's in there. I put the side mounts on. For where it sits and my arms are at the max that I'm comfortable bending it, my legs almost lock out when I put the clutch in all the way. So it has to come forward a little bit, which means I am gonna have to get a shorter hub. And for the mounting plate, because I'm gonna lean this back real quick, because if you see here, so these are the studs for the stock one. All I'm gonna do is basically measure out a piece of metal that is wide enough and long enough where it comes down. I'll show you on the other side because there's no. So, as you can see, that's where the studs are, and then I'm just basically gonna get a flat piece of metal like this, and then probably weld some angle iron on the back that's wide enough, and then drill 2 holes so that way these bolts can go through, and then I can mount the plate, like the side mounts for my seat, onto that plate, and it'll sit low enough, I think, and level, and then I can slide it forward and put it in a comfortable spot. But I do really need to get that shorter hub, so I'm gonna look for one today and order that. Jacob finished doing his bike stuff. He actually showed up and then finished doing his bike stuff, and now he's putting together the welding cart. So once that's put together and not leaning back,
supposed to lean back.
Oh, okay, it's supposed to lean back. We're gonna put the welder on there. He's got some stuff to weld, and then we can shove it in the corner. So I'm just gonna vacuum up the inside of the Mustang, pull my seat back out, and start taking measurements, because maybe tomorrow I'll go to the metal supermarket and get the metal for that. Alright, so I cleaned out the Mustang. Just wanted to get that out of the way. That way when I'm making the plate, it's easier to work with. So right now, I don't have much to do to the Mustang. Well, I have a bunch of stuff to do to the Mustang. But until I get a tank, I can't properly weld stuff on. Or properly weld. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to throw the battery into the motorcycle and throw in the new air filter and try and get it running and see if the battery was the issue on why it's running like crap. I also went and got a haircut. Oh, I just got myself in the eye. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, Jacob finished up the welding cart, and the welder's on there. I guess it worked fine because Jacob was welding something. Yeah. I put the new air filter in. I put the battery in. Running is not the word I would use. It uses power a lot better. It's having issues running. It might be because we left seafoam in there for way too long, and I don't know. We're just letting it sit right now. I'm actually gonna go get a jerry can full of gas, bring it back just in case we put way too much seafoam and it can't really run that well off of seafoam. Yeah, and then Yeah, that's basically it for right now. Alright, so we went to go get gas. And it ran kind of, we think it's only running off of one engine, or not one engine, one cylinder, seeing as how the back exhaust is hot and the front is not. So what we're gonna do is, we think that something broke, not broke, but like some of the gunk that was in the carb fell out and is clogged something and it's not getting the proper flow. So I'm going to clean out the carb again, but I'm gonna do it more properly this time. I'm gonna pull it out, take it apart. I'm gonna get some solution, probably like carb cleaner, and just soak it in there. Yeah, so what I'm gonna start with is I'm gonna start taking apart I'm gonna take the tank off, and I gotta clear this breather because it seems like when you have the gas tank closed, it doesn't want to run, and then when you open it up, it runs a lot better. So we think it's clogged, so I'm gonna have to fix that, and it's gonna be a little bit more difficult because we just put a bunch of gas in there. So I'm gonna wait for the garage to heat up a little bit because we unplugged that to do some welding and grinding and stuff, and then I'm gonna get on this. Okay, so we've been doing some research, and we think the reason, because we took the front spark plug out from the front cylinder, and it got spark, and there was gas in it because we turned it over and it spat out a whole bunch of gas. And I was thinking, I was messaging him, I was like, man, like if there's fuel and spark in there, what is? So apparently these bikes get vapor lock because there's a breather hose that goes across, and usually when it's stuck on its side, it's hard, it gets vapor lock and all that. So what I think I'm gonna do, I think maybe when we took this vacuum system off, we blocked a whole bunch of stuff that we shouldn't have. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take this off. I'm going to pull the tank off so I have space to work. And then we're gonna look for the breather hose for the tank and for the carbs to see if maybe that's the reason why she's running rough and not at all, is because she's getting vapor lock and it's not the carbs. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take all that apart and see if we can figure it out. Okay, so I found the breather line for this side of the carb. It wasn't plugged. This one doesn't have an actual tube, but it has a metal casing. So that one's fine. It does look like on this engine here, it's got a breather hose from the top of the where the gear is, I guess, and the chain goes up into the frame because that's where the air comes in. So I think that's really for that. I took it off and there was a lot of pressure built up, and I checked the coil. I did a lot of checking on this, and the thing that I found out is, so on the old petcock, it had a little fitting here that would run to the vacuum system. When people take off this vacuum system, they still run this line either to the back here or to the front, because the tank doesn't actually have a breather valve other than that through the vacuum line. So what I think was happening was that the tank couldn't release the pressure in it, or at least the vapor, and was constantly sending vapor and ended up vapor locking the front cylinder. So now that all the pressure's released, I'm gonna run it with the gas tank open to see if it runs better, and to see if maybe the issue was it just kept sending vapor into that front cylinder and just kept vapor locking it. So let's see if this works. Let's put a bit of choke on. you guys could probably see that, but I couldn't. Because I was paying attention to other stuff. I'm leaking a whole bunch of gas, and I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's probably because of something I put back together. Maybe this fuel line isn't clamped on or something. Oh, you know what? I think that frickin'... Probably shut that off. I'm pretty sure that frickin' fuel filter right there just broke. Alright, so I'm gonna take the fuel tank off, see if I can fix that line, and then I think we're gonna run this tomorrow. Just cause it's getting dark, and I don't wanna wake people up with my frickin' weird ass running bike, so I'll fix this, and then tomorrow we can run it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, so I went and I got fuel lines today, not fuel lines, sorry, hose clamps, because I think what happened was from moving the fuel lines around a lot, we found out the hose clamps that were holding the fuel filter to everything else was, like they were too big for the hoses. So I went and got smaller ones, and that way those will hold on tighter. But I think what the issue is the engine was vapor locked. So what I'm gonna try to do is, well, I'm gonna put the proper hose clamps on the fuel lines, put it back, put the tank back on, open up the petcock, leave the gas tank lid open, see if it runs better that way. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I just went, where is it over here? Got some hose clamps. So I'm gonna put this all back together and see if we can get her going properly. I'm really hoping that it's just that petcock, that it just needs the other one, and because the tank doesn't have a breather. So yeah, I'm gonna get to doing that. All right, so bike's running. She's running smooth. Seems to be responding. Front exhaust is getting hot. Seems like it's getting the right amount of compression out of both. I'm just gonna try something real quick. Yeah, I mean, she seems to be running. That's sweet. It took a couple minutes just to get some gas going and blah, 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 blah. So what I think I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna tighten down that the tank. I'm gonna put the seat on, and yeah, I'm gonna let it warm up. I'm gonna see what happens, if she dies out or anything like that. Okay, so it was running, and then it started to die down a little bit, and then it would do what it was doing yesterday, where it would start revving, like going like 1,000 or 2 revs up for no reason, and when I let go of the gas, it would still stay there. So I think what I'm gonna do is, because that feels like it's a issue with gas flow. This exhaust is hot, I know that one is, so I know they're both fine. I think it's a fuel delivery issue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order the petcock with the vacuum line on the bottom, because what I think, and if anybody knows and can confirm or tell me I'm wrong, please do, but I'm gonna turn this off right now because I'm not gonna start it. I think that it uses that vacuum line, because when you delete the vacuum system that was right here, I think that allows for, you're supposed to run this to like a intake, like right here, a line from there to the intake. I think that creates vacuum and allows the gas to flow properly, and separates the vapor. So I think that's the issue, but it could also be the carbs are still super gummed up. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna order a factory petcock with the valve, and I'm gonna do the proper delete to see, like run the line from the extra point here to the intake to see if that's my issue. And if it's not, then I know I have to take out the carb again and do a proper clean on it. So I think that's how I'm gonna figure this out, because yesterday we were worried that this cylinder wasn't firing. Today it sounded a lot better than it did yesterday. I think it's no longer vapor locked. That exhaust is now hot. That one's boiling, that one's hot. And so yeah, I think that's just where we're gonna have to go next on this. I am super happy about the progress. We did figure some stuff out. I just wish she like actually ran. That would be a lot more fun. I could take it down the block or something, but it's gonna have to wait because I want to make sure it works properly before I go and start, testing it. So I think that's gonna be it for this video. Guys, please like this video if you did like it. Hit the bell button to see more of the videos, and please subscribe to the channel and see more of the stuff we're gonna do. We are gonna work on the Mustang as soon as we get a tank so we can finish up the welding stuff. But that'll be it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.